And can you send the link like when it starts or?
Yeah. It just says setting up your meeting for YouTube. Okay, we're live. Oh, hang on.
I can get the link from here. So.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, my face is the thumbnail.
It's just following our conversation.
Yeah, that's probably it.
All right. It says one watching now. Stream started less than a minute ago. Okay. I guess we'll just. This is great. I hope someone starts at the start of the stream and just like sees us just sitting here.
I'm on the site right now, so it's going. But yeah, we'll start in a sec.
All right, I think we can get started. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Sunday Martin Luther King Day weekend matchup between BU men's basketball and the Army men's basketball team. I'm Seth Hellman, joined by Joe Porilis. Joe, bit of a struggle to start off the season for the men's basketball team at BU. Starting off 1-4, what did they need to do to turn around their luck?
Well, three-point shooting team-wide has just been a struggle for this team, and it started to turn around in yesterday's game. Of course, they lost by 20, but they went 12 from 32 from three-point land, which is 37%, which is not a bad metric at all for a team, and it's much better than it has been recently. The only issue is that shooting didn't start getting better until the last 10 minutes of the game when it was out of hand. So they were in the low 20% range for most of that game from three-pointers. So if they can start shooting better at an earlier rate from here on out, starting the game, then they'll be in a much better position to, take the lead and hold it.
Yeah, I mean, they shot about 25% from the floor against Colgate and got blown out. So shooting has been an issue really all season long for the Terriers. Who would you look at right now in the lineup and say that guy needs to step up, or that guy's going to carry the load if they're going to find themselves back in the win column?
Well, Ethan Britton Watts, he's been doing a lot of the ball carrying or playing the point guard position while Javonte McCoy's been out. I don't think either of us are too sure yet if McCoy's back in the lineup yet, but Britton Watts had 0 points yesterday. He only had one shot attempt. So the offense has been struggling. I'd like to see him try to get involved and call his own number a little bit more in today's game.
Turnovers, also a big story for BU, though Army did not do much better themselves. Though they did do significantly better in the second half, 0 turnovers in that second half. Meanwhile, the Terriers ended up with 9 turnovers in the second half, 10 in the first. What were you seeing from the Terriers that was causing a lot of those turnovers? I mean, I know I saw some things, but I'd like to hear what you have.
Well, Army was playing a pretty strong defense. They were forcing BU to play from the perimeter, which if you're playing BU, that's the wise thing to do given how much they've struggled from three. So I think it's been BU trying to force some passes inside, maybe when they shouldn't have or when they didn't have the lanes. But I'm curious to see what Coach Joe Jones is going to script up for this offense to try to get past that front line of the Army defense.
I know personally, I didn't watch the entire game. You watched the entire game because you called the game yesterday. But the time that I spent watching the game, I noticed that the Terriers threw a lot of cross court passes. talking from one wing to the opposite corner, from one corner to the opposite corner. And I know that I personally, growing up playing basketball, was always taught to never throw skip passes like that, because those are passes that get intercepted. You see it all the time in the NBA, you see it all the time at the college level. Athletes aren't as great in high school as they are in those levels, but still happens there. So I think that's something that the Terriers really need to work on and try and limit as they go forward. There are a lot of errant passes that if you knock down that turnover number from 19 to 10, you're not necessarily going to end up getting the full 20-point deficit back that they lost by to Army yesterday, but you're going to start working your way back and you're not going to get blown out anymore. And then once the shooting comes around, there's your extra point that you need to get up there on the board in order to win the game. Tip-off should be shortly here.
I've got it going already, Seth. I'm not sure if you're.
Oh yes, I'm always behind. So all of the big moments we always miss, especially when it comes to hockey. There would be when I'm calling games for hockey, it would end up being the goal would be scored, and my broadcast partner would already know that the goal had been scored. So apologize for that delay. It's the ESPN Plus app not being friendly. So minute in right now. I apologize for the delay on that. Would not have been talking as much. Terriers with the ball. Inbounded there by Britton Watts. Takes it up top and passes it over to his teammate at the top of the key. Now in the corner with Walter White. White passes it up to the top, giving back to White. Takes a three and hits. 3-0 Terriers in the early going. Brought up the court now by Army. Jalen Rucker, the starting point guard for Army today, passes it into the post and shot there, blocked down by the Terriers. Good job there. Now brought up the court by Walter White. Has a man. Double teamed up at top. Now he picks up his dribble. No help coming. And here is Britton Watts taking it around the top of the wing. Now passed off there. Thrown into the corner. Now one of those skip passes that we mentioned in the opening. Taken there in the post. Nothing there. Britton Watts now drives, kicks out to the corner, shot. That one off, rebound Army. Here comes Army down the other side of the court. Held there by Rucker at the top of the key. Tries to penetrate. Good defense here by the Terriers. Army dribbling with it up at the top of the key. Here's the drive inside. Jump stop, passes back out, and we will get a travel called. Turnover for Army.
And that was, as we saw, Walter White made the first three. That's the only scoring in the game so far. And another important thing to note, Javonte McCoy is back in the starting lineup. He's playing today, so that should be a huge boost for the Terrier offense. And he missed that corner three right there, but once he gets back into the swing of things, should be a major boost.
Terriers have it outside the three-point line right now. Now sent into the post to White. White working, takes the mid-range. That one's short, rebound Army, and they bring it back up the court. Here's Tucker. Tucker driving, takes the layup, and that one is blocked away by a Terrier player. Looks like it might have been stolen from behind, but it goes out of bounds, and Army will maintain possession here.
And that transition defense is a huge thing for the Terriers if they want to get ahead and really stay in the lead and not go down by 20 points like they did yesterday. They struggled with that a lot, especially after scoring points.
Army finds the man on the inbound in the low post and passed over to good foul there from, it looks like that was Britton Watts. Tried to steal it off the inbound, but got called for foul. I would have seen a jump ball there maybe, but obviously the referee was in great position there. So Tucker getting subbed out now, and in comes Nick Fink from Illinois. Army with the inbound underneath the basket here. Passes into the post. Wide open shot there, and that goes down 3-2 Terriers. Terriers got dominated in the post yesterday, and you'd like to see them do a little bit better, but not a lot of big men on the Terrier lineup as they turn the ball over here.
Yeah, and that was by Alex King, wide open under the basket. He went 9 for 12 yesterday with a game high of 20 points. He was just having his way with the Terrier defense from outside the arc, inside the post. They're going to feed the ball to him, so they got to be ready for it.
Duhart with the ball now for Army, dribbles it off the foot of a Terrier defender, and now here come Terriers on the fast break, and they turn the ball over, picked up by Army, who comes back the other way on the fast break, dribbled with here by Grayson. Grayson has it in the, passes out to three-point land, and that one misses, but rebound with Army. They keep possession, pass into the post. Looking for a man, back shot deep from three-point range. That one rebounded there by the Terriers, and here they come the other way. Good rebound there from Matone. Sent into the corner now with the Terriers, and travel called in the corner on Walter White. That's White with a Y, not with an I, and I assume he's not making meth in a trailer somewhere out in the desert.
Man, we've been at BU for how many years now? I think that I think those jokes have sort of run its. We've heard I've heard them all by now. But yeah, Walter
See,
White, he does need to cook up something because they haven't played. They haven't scored a point in over 2.5 minutes. It seems like. I think their only score was Walter White with the first three of the game. That was about a minute in.
We are 4 minutes into this first half here. The only scoring have been those two buckets that we mentioned before, taken by Army in the post. Good little move there. Back out to the top of the key, dribbled with by Army. Good move there, and a foul called on Britton Watts. That's his second of the game. Foul on the floor. That was Duhart dribbling with it in the key.
Yeah, he was really trying to get in there, and the Black Knights, they were able to drive in, get in the post all game long yesterday. So expect more of the same. And until BU can consistently stop those moves and stop turning the ball over, Army's going to continue attacking that way. So it's going to be keep an eye on Suk Matone. He's got to have his hands full with Alex King and all those tall Army guys in the post.
Duhart tried to inbound it, but it got knocked away by the Terrier defenders. Good defense so far on inbounds plays by the Terriers, at least from my perspective here. Duhart inbounding, looking for a man. That one's knocked away by the Terriers again. Will still be an Army ball. Good defense on the inbound there from Andrew Petcash, senior guard out of Pittsburgh. This one inbounded to the top of the key, given back to Duhart on the wing. Dribbles with it, uses the pick, gets the switch. White defending, takes him into the post, picks up his dribble and passes it back out to the top of the key. Now thrown into the post again. Dribbled with at the Terrier logo. Now step back three. That one off to the right. Rebound Army. Stolen there by Matone. Good job by him. And here are the Terriers with the ball in the corner. Dribbled by McCoy. Sends it over. Picked off by Army. And here they come on a 2-on-1. Dribbled in by Duhart. Unable to get the layup to go. Rebound by White, who passes it off to Matone. Matone waits with it. Passes it over to Pasco, who will dribble it up the court. He gives it to McCoy.
And I like what McCoy tried to do there. Obviously, his pass was intercepted, but all game long yesterday, the Terriers were just working around the three-point line, could not get inside. McCoy trying to drive in and start something near the bucket, which is probably the best way to attack this team, given how well they defend the three.
McCoy standing with it about 5 feet behind three-point line. Takes a shot from the wing. That one off. Rebound Walter White. Tries to go up with it. Has 4 defenders around him. Shot here from three-point land, and that one hits. Good shot there from Andrew Petcash. Walter White finding the wide open Petcash at the top of the key. Dribbled with here by Duhart. Army with it. Passed over to Duhart on the wing. He dribbles right into the key. Good pass there on the back cut. Way to find the cutting Josh Caldwell. And the Terrier defenders just kind of fell asleep there, weren't paying attention to the back cut. Great find on the bounce pass.
And that was happening when they started to score. Every time they got a nice shot one way, Army would come right back and score, with another great play, another great pass. And that's something the BU defense has to do coming back the other end after they score a bucket.
And McCoy gives them a taste of their own medicine, gets fouled, unable to convert. 14-16 remaining in the first half. 6-4 Terriers will take a break. And we're returning here from the commercial. 2 free throws to be shot here for the Terriers as they break out from their huddle. Should be mentioned that BU is forcing not only the Terrier players, but the visiting teams as well to wear masks. And I got to say, I think they've got the right idea. But as I'm watching the game, I think I've seen maybe 2 people on the benches wearing the masks properly. All of the Army players wear them around their chins, and
Yep,
most of the
yep.
BU players have their noses hanging out as McCoy misses the first free throw. And I got to question, you know, why we're forcing them to wear masks if we're not going to enforce them wearing them properly.
Yeah,
And
and
McCoy hits the second free throw there.
I was calling this game yesterday with Daniel Moltz, and we were talking about the same thing at the beginning of the broadcast. Army, not a single player on the court has got it even over the mouth, going full chin diaper with the Army team, as I brought up yesterday. And yeah, no, it's really been the same thing for every opponent. It hasn't really been strictly enforced. Wonder if the university will intervene at some point. Not sure how they'd enforce it otherwise, though.
I mean, you'd have to figure out a way to get some sort of an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as White stole the ball and now the Terriers have it back in their end. But I mean, it's not even like it's just the Army players. I mean, I'll give BU players credit for the most part. They are wearing them over their mouths, but the bench players a lot of the times are not wearing them. The coaches pull the mask down to yell at their players on the court as White puts on a beautiful spin move in the post and hits it home to give the Terriers a 5-point lead. But I mean, I question what the use is of wearing a mask if you're not going to wear it properly. At some point, you're going to have to penalize teams, fine them or suspend the players or something.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go about it. It's Army definitely much more of a cosmetic thing, if nothing else, than what they're wearing.
Yeah, as they turn over the ball here and picked up and brought up the court by White. Good offensive possession there by Army up until the turnover. They had the Terriers running all over the place, just couldn't convert. Dribbled there by Pasco, who sent a skip pass over into the corner. That shot off, rebound by White, though, who takes it into the post, misses the layup, rebound, follow good by Jack Hemphill, the junior. Good play by Hemphill in the post. Looks like we have a timeout with 12:39 remaining in this first half. Terriers have come out now to a 7-point lead, 11-4. Timeout Army.
And BU did not lead at all last game. Army took the lead pretty much right away and just continued to stretch it as the game went on. And that example right there of Walter White picking up the rebound and Jack Hemphill taking the second offensive rebound of the possession. BU entering yesterday was one of the best rebounding teams in the Patriot League, especially on the offensive end. And Army, on the flip side, is not a good defensive rebounding team when looking across the entire Patriot League. So they didn't really take advantage of those second chance points yesterday's game, but seems like already they're picking up those offensive boards and getting those second chance points, and that's why they got the lead right now.
Army bringing the ball up the floor right now. That one's brought up by Rucker. Jalen Rucker dribbles with it on the wing, finds a man at the top of the key, guarded by Hemphill. Now dribble handoff there, given back to Rucker at the top. Now sent down to the free throw line, given up on the wing. Dribbling with it, dribbles it off the foot of a Terrier defender again, but picked up by Army. 5-4-3 left on the shot clock. Takes a deep three and a short rebound there by Pasco. And now here come the Terriers looking to extend their lead. Bad pass, bad communication by the Terriers, and just another careless turnover. Tate looking for Pasco and just threw it away.
Seemed like Pasco got tangled up with Matone at the top of the key, and Tate saw Pasco pass in the right direction, but wasn't able to get back to it in time, and it just rolls out of bounds. As you've mentioned it, the turnovers have been really up in this game, really up all weekend, and it seems like that's the one thing the Terriers aren't getting right now.
12 minutes remaining in this first half. Terriers up 11-4, and we will take another break. We'll be back in just a minute. And we're back from the break here. Yesterday's matchup, field goal percentage from the floor, 37.7% from the Terriers compared to a 51.6% from Army. Army, however, only shot 53% from the line, whereas the Terriers were up over 80%. So at least that's something for the Terriers to look at and say, hey, we did that pretty well last game. Taken at the top of the key, three-pointer good for Army. That cuts the lead down to just 4. Good shot there from Lonnie Grayson, the senior guard out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Taken here by Pasco at the top of the key. Tries to throw it down in deep for Matone, but that one's picked off. Here comes Army on the fast break. Corner 3. That one's good. 1-point lead for the Terriers, and just like that, the lead has evaporated. Good shot there from Josh Caldwell, junior guard for Army. Pasco dribbles into the corner, hands it off, taken by Matone at the top of the three-point line, given to Tate, who sends it up to Hemphill. Hemphill finding Matone in the post. Foul called there on Army.
And that last possession, Matone, he's the tallest guy on the team. He's one of the few big men on this roster. He's relied on to get that work in the post and score those points from up close. And Pascal in that last possession tried to force feed him the ball with 3 Army defenders around him. It was just not the best decision in that point, and that led to the turnaround 3 in the next possession for Army.
Terriers very heavy with their guard play, seeming as though they use Matone to pass him the ball and then use him as almost a screen as Hemphill drains the 3 from the close corner, 14-10 Terriers. And you got to wonder if he wouldn't be better off in a pick and roll situation or just throwing him down in the post and trying to see if he can get some work done posting up. Army with it on the wing here. Controlled by Grayson, who passes it up to Fink at the top. Shot by Grayson. That one's good. 14-13, and all of a sudden, Army has awoken from 3-point range.
Yeah, it took a while for Lonnie Grayson to get going. He was their leading scorer, but Alex King surpassed him this weekend. Took him until the second half to really get going, but it looks like Grayson's already shooting pretty well to start this game.
Hemphill with a great pass down low that almost looked like it was a shot over to Matone, who hits the layup. Questionable pass, but got the job done. Taken here on the wing by Army. Passed off there to Duhart. Here comes Army driving in on Matone, and that is a charge called there on Alex King, the senior forward. Great defense there from Matone to draw the charge with just less than 10 minutes remaining in the half. Terriers get the ball back with the hopes of trying to extend their lead as Walter White checks into the game. Harper's also checked into the game for BU, and Britton Watts is bringing up the floor.
Yeah, Harper did not play yesterday either, so that's McCoy and Harper back in the lineup for the Terriers today.
McCoy dribbling with it at the top 3-point line, gets the pick from Matone, sends it into White on the back cut, who slams it home. One-handed jam baseline for Walter White. Great pass there. 18-13 Army. Picked up at the top of the key here. 18-13 BU. Shot from the corner. That is off. Rebound Walter White. And here come the Terriers again, looking to further extend this lead.
White is doing it on both ends of the court. He's rebounding offensively, defensively is Javante McCoy.
Wow. What a layup there from McCoy. Timeout Army. And all of a sudden, this Terrier leads back up to 7.
And they're doing exactly what they weren't able to do yesterday. Yesterday, they were just passing around the perimeter, not taking any drives. The Army defense wasn't giving them too many lanes. But right now, Walter White and Javante McCoy continue to go to the bucket and send passes into Suk Matone as well. And that's why they've got this lead. They're playing much better against this Army defense than they did yesterday.
Great layup there from McCoy. Drove right down the middle of the court, straight through. Started with the ball up high, brings it down and around. Almost a reverse there, and just manages to jelly it right off the rim and in, giving the Terriers a 7-point lead. You'd like to see them run their pick and roll a little bit more efficiently. It almost looked like Matone started to roll and then didn't. He was up at the top of the 3-point line, and he kind of ran in 3 steps jogging and then stopped. And obviously it turned into the great back cut by White. Good heads up play by him to catch the Army defender sleeping. But if you're going to pick and roll, you got to cut hard to the basket. You can't just take 2 steps jogging as Army controls it in the corner. Now up on the wing, they pass it over here. 3-point shot. That one's good. Off balance shot from Tucker Blackwell at the top of the 3-point line. Brought up by Britton Watts here. 4-point game. Hand it off to Harper. McCoy with it on the wing. Gets the pick from Matone. Matone wide open on the cut, but they don't find him. And Harper stepped out of bounds in the corner. See, that was one of those good cuts that you want to see from your big man off the pick and roll. They just weren't able to find him.
And Walter White during that timeout was getting his finger taped up for something. It looked like he was getting it checked out and has something on his finger right now. So we'll see how that impacts him with the through the rest of the game.
Yeah, he might have just gotten a cut as they take a 3 from the wing, rebounded by Army. Sent back out to the top of the 3-point line, dribbled with there by Tucker. We're going to get a blocking call on, I think, Matone.
And Joe Jones is not happy about it. He is walking up and down the sideline. He's definitely one of the more emotional coaches in Patriot League playing. He was not satisfied with that call at all.
Matone will check out for, I believe, the first time in this game. I don't think I've seen him sit at all. Small ball lineup here for the Terriers. That one goes out. Bad turnover there from Army, and the Terriers will bring it back to the floor. Hempfield to inbound. Gives it over to Britton Watts, who takes it up the floor. 8 minutes remaining in this first half. Passed over to McCoy on the wing. McCoy dribbling with it. Looking for Harper to come up. Now he picks up his dribble. Passes over to Britton Watts on the wing. Watts with a fake screen from Hemphill, who immediately dives to the basket, but they pass it out to McCoy, back to Watts, over to Harper on the wing. Harper backing down to the defender, jump hook, unable to go, tip in, unable to go from McCoy, fought for on the ground, good hustle by Harper, but Army comes up with the ball and brings it back up the court. Here's Caldwell. Caldwell with a solid pass. Open shot from 3. That one's good from Tucker Blackwell, and all of a sudden the lead shrinks back down to 1.
Yeah, BU's trying to get the ball inside. They're doing what they weren't able to do before, and nice look there by Britton Watts to Javante McCoy under the basket. And that,
I got to tell you, if they keep running these back cuts, they're not going to have to worry about scoring the ball.
Yeah, that's the recipe. That's what they got to do.
Great look there for McCoy. Just absolutely wide open. Almost stolen by Hemphill at the top of the key. Good play by him. White defending now. And here's Harper on Rucker. Rucker passes the ball off. Harper gets picked. Good mid-range shot there from Jalen Rucker. Way to use the pick and take a nice elbow shot there. Brought up the floor by Britton Watts in the wing. Now sent it down to the corner, and that ball was dropped. Bad pass from Britton Watts. That's a turnover for BU.
Yeah, that one was off the mark. Went to the sideline again. They had a few possessions there where both yesterday and today where they've had the ball and just either the ball or one of the players stepped out of bounds. Just not great from either side of the offense.
And we just over 6 minutes remaining in this first half. We'll take another break and we'll be back in a minute. Terriers lead here on WTBU Sports. And we are back here with the remainder of this first half as we see the replay of the beautiful mid-range shot there from Jalen Rucker to cut the lead down to 1 at the time.
And both teams are shooting much better just from three and from inside. The Terriers are 9 of 17 on field goals, which is 53%, and just a lot better than they were yesterday. And from three, Army's 5 for 12, and BU's 3 for 7. So both teams are hitting their shots a lot more efficiently than they were yesterday.
And we called out a lot of the players for not wearing their masks properly. Shout out to Aaron Duhart for actually wearing it properly. Good job on him, the Army guard. Army with the ball now. Good pass there. Good block by White, but he gets called for the foul. White got beat on a cut there and tried to block it right off of the backboard. Good shot there by Alex King. White called for the foul. Looks like he's holding that hand that we mentioned got taped up earlier. Not sure if he had just gotten a finger pushed in the wrong way as they missed the first free throw. I've definitely jammed a finger or two playing basketball, so that's not a fun one, but definitely something you can easily play through.
Yeah, and White definitely generated a little bit of contact there. I think that's a good foul. That's a good foul to take because King's just been dominating under the glass, and he only makes one of those two free throws. So that's a solid foul by White.
Game tied for the first time since 0-0 with 6:17 remaining in this first half, taken by Pasco at the top of the three-point line. Doesn't use the pick from Hemphill. Now he picks up his dribble, pivots, finds McCoy on the other wing. McCoy now dribbles with it, passes it to White on his wing. Now Hemphill within the post finds a wide open McCoy for three, and he hits.
Just great ball movement from the Terriers, looking for the open guy, not forcing passes, and McCoy finds himself open at the top of the key.
And here's Duhart with it at the top of the key, passes it over to the wing, back to Duhart, wide open three-pointer, and he hits it. Back and forth three-pointers here from the Terriers and the Black Knights. And here comes Pasco with it. Has Hemphill, passes to White. White standing with it on the wing. Looks for a man after picking up his dribble. Gets McCoy on the wing. Top of the key from White. Short three-pointer there. His shot has not been on today at all. And here come Army the other way. Corner with Duhart. Duhart dribbling, hands it off, gets it back, passes it to the top of the key over there to Grayson, who dribbles directly past his defender and hits the layup. And Army takes their first lead of the game, 27-25.
That was way too easy for Grayson. He blew by three Terrier defenders and got a really easy bucket right under the basket.
And here's White neglecting the pick from Hemphill, now picks up his dribble, passes it to Hemphill in the post, who pivots, tries to find White on the cut, deflected there by the Army defender, Alex King, but that goes out of bounds. Terriers will retain possession, 4:40 remaining. Just 8 seconds left on the shot clock, so Terriers need to be wary of that once they get the ball in.
And Terriers have done a good job defending Army inbounds. Let's see how Army faces off here.
Good turnaround Jay there from Hemphill, unable to put it home, and the tip from White misses as well. Dribbled up the court here for Army. Couple of faked shots and drives. King blows by White and puts home the tough layup. Just bad defense there all around from the Terriers, not closing out properly on their defenders as Pasco sends an errant pass to the corner, but that's somehow caught. Great catch there. And he draws the blocking foul. Good job by Andrew Petcash, jumping up there, looking like Devontae Adams last night for the Packers.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I can't remember if you said this at the beginning of the broadcast or just beforehand, but you mentioned their cross-court passing from BU. That's something that they really like to implement, and it doesn't always work out. Of course, here Petcash was able to corral it and draw the foul, but that's led to several turnovers throughout this game. So we'll see how they.
As BU inbounds the ball here to Hemphill, that's and we're going to get a jump ball here. Good play there from Josh Caldwell, able to force the jump with Damon Tate. But with those cross court passes, you can really only do them when your guy is wide open and there's no one in between you and your teammate. But then if there is someone in between you and your teammate, you have to throw it high enough that they can't intercept it. But in doing that, most of the time you're either going to throw it away or make it a really tough catch for your teammate in the corner, as the layup floater there from Josh Caldwell is good. Army getting out to a 6-point lead now, their largest of the game. Matone with it in the post, tries to spin around, gets a good layup in, big man move from Matone to cut the lead down to 4. But a lot of times with those passes, you're forcing your teammate to, act like a football receiver and toe tap and try to keep himself in bounds and hope that he's able to control it or be able to find another teammate wide open, as Army takes it in the post, unable to hit the layup, but good rebound there from Josh Caldwell, the junior guard, to put it home, lead back up to 6. So cross-court passes, just not usually forcing a turnover there, just not the greatest pass to make. You're much better off, trying to set some screens and making the easier passes. You can't skip it from one wing to the opposite corner. Now with the Terriers, with the ball, throws it up, trying to get to Matone, but we're going to get a foul on the floor. Another one of those passes where it was high arcing and looks more like a shot than it does a pass. Foul there is going to be called on Mark Madden, the senior guard for Army out of South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame. 2:54 remaining in this first half. Army now up 6 points, 33-27. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back here for what should be the remainder of this first half between Army and BU, as we're seeing images of Boston University graduate Dr. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King Day is tomorrow. School's starting up soon for Terriers students, but right now it's just the teams on campus. Hope you all have a safe weekend, and Martin Luther King Day certainly more relevant this year than it has been in most recent years. So that's definitely something to think about, and we're sure there will be conversations across college campuses as BU inbounds the ball here, passed over to Pasco on the wing, who finds Britton Watts, back over to Pasco, dribbles with it, up at the top of the key for Hemphill. Hemphill dribbles in, finds Britton Watts. Britton Watts back over to Hemphill, who fakes the shot, fakes multiple shots, tries to get into Matone. Looks like it was almost stolen away, but a foul called on Army. With just 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
And I
2:35 remaining in this first half.
I believe BU's now in the bonus. Yes, they are, and they'll be shooting a 1-and-1 free throw here. That shot clock got down to 2 seconds, so Hemphill was really just trying to feed it to Matone for the best shot, best look that he could, and Caldwell almost got away with the steal. Caldwell is one of the best defensive players on Army. He's got at least 21 entering yesterday's game. He had 21 steals on the season, which was 10 more than the next highest guy on the team.
as Matone hits the first free throw there. 5-point lead for Army. And we talked about Army's defense a lot throughout this first half as Matone hits the second free throw. Good job at the line there from him. Certainly haven't done as good of a job this to start off this game, but doing well enough that they managed to come back and find themselves in the lead. Shot from three there, almost in for Rucker, and that ball finds its way out of bounds. I believe Army will retain possession. That might have been off of a Terrier defender inside trying to hit the rebound out.
Yeah, it looked like Hemphill was the last one to touch that as he sort of brushed it out to the sideline.
Rucker to inbound. Finds his man Grayson with it and hands it back off to Rucker, who uses a screen, now has White. And we get the call here for a foul against the Terriers. Not sure who. Might have been Pet Cash. Could have been involving that screen. Tough to tell. Inbounded by Rucker to Grayson, who hands it immediately back off to Rucker. He now has White defending him. Takes a mid-range. Deep two-pointer. Good there from Rucker. Rucker kind of just the definition of a pure hooper right now, just taking whatever shot he can hit. White with it now on the wing, given to Matone, who passes to Britton Watts, drives in, kicks it back out to McCoy, uses the Matone pick, stolen away by Army, but that's going to go out of bounds off Army. Good diving play from Josh Caldwell and good diving play in return from Ethan Britton Watts to force that one to find its way out of bounds. Terriers retain possession after almost turning the ball over. Inbounded by McCoy to Matone. Matone passes it over to Britton Watts on the wing, who tries to drive with speed. Can't hit the right-handed layup from the left side of the basket. Rebound Army. Here comes Grayson. Britton Watts picking him up.
Got to hit those layups when you're that close to the basket. Britton Watts only had one shot attempt yesterday's game, so maybe a little rusty going in, but really need to get those layups in, especially when you're down 6 this late in the half.
3-point shot from the wing. Good for Rucker. He is just tearing apart this Terrier defense right now. McCoy bringing it up. Timeout, Terriers. One thing you do notice on this floor right now, most of these players are wearing gray or white shoes, with the exception of 1 or 2 players on Army wearing gold shoes. And then there's Ethan Britton Watts wearing bright pink basketball shoes. And I got to say, I love it. I love the standout. I am one for bright colors myself. Minute 6 remaining in this first half. Terriers believe they've taken a 30-second timeout.
You mentioned the difference in shoes, and if it's anything like the NFL, he might get fined in dining points or something for deviating from the uniform. I don't know what the rules are there, but definitely nice there.
I think as long as he's wearing an Under Armour shoe of some kind, he's probably okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the college basketball rules are on shoes. All I know is that most of these players are wearing either gray or white shoes for the Terriers. Haven't seen anyone wearing red shoes to my knowledge, but I do enjoy how all of the coaches are wearing the same exact shoe. I like the coordination there. There's a lot of thought that's gone into this.
Yeah, uniform down to a T with these guys. Very superstitious, just athletes in general. So, and that definitely spreads to coaches too.
Britton Watts dribbling with it, has Tucker defending. Good pick there from White, who pops out to the wing. Matone now gets doubled in the post, looks for McCoy on the wing, stolen there. That one knocked out of bounds by McCoy. Good job by Josh Caldwell to pick off the pass there. Just wasn't able to get the layup up, but good chase down defense from McCoy to make up for the mistake of Matone. Matone trying to pass out of a double team. And, if he wants to be a dominant big man, that's something he's going to have to learn how to do a little bit more efficiently. As Rucker inbounds it to Grayson, who finds a man at the top of the key. Dribbling with it at the free throw line and pass to Rucker. Rucker takes it right next to the half court line. Less than 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Rucker looking for a screen with Britton Watts on him. Now gets doubled. Finds a man. Over in the corner now for Army is Grayson. Grayson dribbles with it. He loses the ball on the wing. 25 seconds remaining. Here come the Terriers. McCoy driving, layup, unable to put it home. Foul called. McCoy goes rolling into the wall there.
Yeah, he looked hurt. He was squirming around. He looked hurt for a second, but he popped up and is ready to take these shots. It's 20 seconds, 21 seconds left. Shot clock is off now, so Terriers, they can hit these free throws, get a quick turnover, quick stop. I mean, Army probably will hold it to the last shot, but they have a chance to cut this even more if they can get their defense down.
And McCoy hits the first of two layups, or excuse me, free throws off of the layup. Andrew Petcash checking out of the game here. Army with an 8-point lead. Matone is also sitting on the bench, and McCoy hits the second free throw after it bounces up and down. Hit the back of the rim, hit the front of the rim, shot straight up in the air, and dropped. Looks like number 10 for Army, Tucker Blackwell, has checked into the game. Blackwell, the Bloomington, Indiana native, as Rucker dribbles the ball up the court. 14 seconds remaining in this first half.
Yeah, and they're looking for Blackwell. He's 2 for 2 from 3. Those are his only shots today. He's one of their better shooters on the team.
And shot from Grayson from 3 with 4 seconds left. Doesn't hit it. Almost rebounded by Army, but picked up. And the weird underhand full court shot from McCoy that gets waved off before it even finds its way to the basket. We are at halftime here on this Sunday matchup between Army and the Terriers. 38-31 Army. Will be back with you soon for the second half.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. We are back with Patriot League basketball, Boston University, WTBU Sports Radio. I'm Joe Pohorilis with Seth Hellman. Army is leading 38-31 at the half, but the scoring has gotten the shooting output rather has been a lot better between both teams compared to yesterday. Josh Caldwell leads the Black Knights with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals, while Javante McCoy leads the Terriers with 10 points and 2 assists. Seth, what should we look for in the second half from the Terriers to try to scrape back on this 7-point deficit?
Well, Terriers once again losing the turnover battle right now. I think they have 11 compared to 8 or 9 for Army. But if you're the Terriers, 50% from the floor and 4 for 9 from 3, you're very happy with those numbers. As Walter White short on a 3-pointer there. So you'll look to continue your shooting. You want to improve your defense, though, because even shooting 50% from the floor isn't good enough when your opponent's shooting 55% from the floor. So look for the Terriers, try and improve on defense and try to limit their turnovers.
And Alex King just missed on a 3-pointer there. That was rebounded by Jonas Harper. Javante McCoy is bringing the ball up the court, finds Harper on the right wing down to Damon Tate. That was Ethan Britton Watts as Harper drives in over to Walter White, and he is called for the charging foul, it looks like, on Charlie Peterson. That's going back Army's way.
Yeah, it's a good call there. He was out of control driving towards the basket. And, he tried to make that pass off into the corner, but defender outside of the restricted area and had his feet set. So good, solid by the book call there by the referee.
So it is still 38-31, just a minute into this half, both sides missing one shot as Jalen Rucker controls the ball at the point, gives it off to King. King looks inside for Peterson, but overthrew him a bit there, but it looks like they're calling another foul. Maybe Peterson was held back a bit. It's still Army ball on this side of the court. So did you see anything there with the
I
hole?
think the pass got tipped just based on where the inbounds pass is coming from. It's coming from below the hoop. If it was a foul, it would be coming by one of the benches.
So Army's inbounding. That's Jalen Rucker finds Peterson up top by the point. Peterson gives it back to Rucker. He's on the right corner. Gives it all the way back to Lonnie Grayson at the logo. They're working the left side. Army trying to get the perimeter. And Josh Caldwell with the ball trying to drive in on Hemphill. He finds Peterson underneath. Peterson has 2 Terrier defenders go up, and he splits right between them, putting the layup in. It's 40-31 Army. These are the first points of the half. Hemphill's bringing the ball up now for the Terriers.
That's textbook post play there by Peterson. You find yourself with 2 defenders coming, undisciplined play in the post by the Terriers. You got to know that he's going to stand there and fake. He's done it multiple times throughout the game. He's patient. He stands there, sees the Terriers going up, tries to draw the foul, but isn't he's anticipating the contact, but not expecting it. Right? There's a difference between anticipating and using it. So he just goes up strong, knows that the contact could be coming, goes up, gets the layup. Good job there by him.
And on that last possession, Walter White lost the ball, and Army came back up, and Jalen Rucker looks like turned the ball over yet again. So it's Terrier ball again. We're about 2 minutes in, still 40-31 Army. Jack Hemphill has the ball at the point. He's looking around. He picked up his dribble. He finds Ethan Britton Watts on the right side. Watts goes to the center, kicks it out to Javante McCoy in the left corner. McCoy brings it back in, tries to pass out to White. It gets tipped by King, but White gets it back. He swings it to Hemphill, and it goes off the rim and barely in. Everyone tries to tip it up by the basket, but Army comes down with the rebound. Jalen Rucker's bringing up the ball. Finds Grayson driving in, and he does it again, but cannot connect on the layup. Grayson, the rebound by Hemphill. Javante McCoy's bringing it back down on the right side. Crosses up Alex King there, goes in. What a nifty play by Javante McCoy. Has Alex King stumbling around, drives right to the basket.
Yeah,
and it's
solid
40
finger
to
roll
33
layup there. And then just bad defense again from the Terriers as they hit the 3-pointer in the corner wide open for Grayson.
Yeah, that was
they got to figure
Grayson
out how to communicate.
Yeah, left all alone. It's 43-33 now. Army stretches their lead to 10. Hemphill's got the ball up top, finds Britton Watts on the side. Britton Watts puts it into Hemphill, who kicks it back out to Jonas Harper. Harper drives in. Peterson tries to draw the foul, and it looks like it was a blocking, or no? Are they calling it against
I believe it's a
Terriers?
blocking foul. I mean, that's what I saw on the call,
Yeah,
just based on where the players are running right now too. And I think that's probably the right call. It looked like he was close to having his feet set, but I think that Harper had gotten there first.
yeah. It didn't
So
seem like his feet got set, so the Terriers will be inbounding the ball here, and plays waiting to get set. Joe Jones is looking onward from the sideline. Looks like Britton Watts will be inbounding. Can't find anyone. Eventually finds McCoy up by the logo. McCoy look for him to drive in. He kicks it out to White. White gets back into the middle, drives in on King again, passes back outwards to Britton Watts. Britton Watts drives in. He goes up for the layup, and it can't fall, but he gets his own rebound, swings back around, and he misses the layup again. Britton Watts has just been struggling with those close-up shots today as Army comes back quick down to Tucker Blackwell, who nails the three on the right wing, and Army is now up by 13.
yeah, timeout there from the Terriers. Interesting sequence there. You like the hustle from Britton Watts. You just want him to convert on one of those layup opportunities. Especially he was flat on his back, manages to get up and get the rebound. So great job by him. But then not good enough hustle on the way back down the court, finding the wide open player on the wing for a 3-pointer. Terriers looking sloppy defensively right now. They need to up their communication. They need to work on closing out a lot better. That was something else that they did poorly in the first half. So look for them to communicate, look for them to close out better, and when I say close out better, right now, the Terriers are just flying by the shooters. They're running towards them, they're jumping, they're leaving their feet. The proper execution on a closeout is you run at them and you get short, choppy feet, right? So you think of the ladder drill, right? Where you try to get your feet into every single one of the rungs of the ladder, really short steps. It's like that. You run up at them, you get your hand up right in their face, and you chop your feet so that in the event that they do go up for the shot, you're in a good position with your hand there to contest and you can jump. But if they fake, you're also in perfect defending position there. You're not going to get beat, by flying by them, and then all of a sudden they have an easy dribble drive. So that's something that the Terriers right now are not being disciplined enough with their closeouts.
And Britton Watt, he got his own rebound on that last possession and still was unable to put it in. He's 0 for 4 from the field today. And Blackwell, he hit his third three of the day. That was his third shot. He's launching them from behind the arc and has been connecting so far. He's got 9 points today. As we're in a commercial break right now. We sort of bled into one right here. Should be coming back pretty soon, but for now we're going to sign off just for a second. Should be back within just a few minutes. And we're right back again. It's 46-33 Army with 16 and a half to go in the game. Terriers have the ball. Walter White kicks it out to Javante McCoy in the left corner. Javante McCoy goes up for the nice jump shot, but it rings just out. Charlie Peterson with the rebound. Aaron Duhart's driving down the court now. He's got the ball for Army. He's on the right side, closes in, kicks it back out to Blackwell, but Blackwell's unable to get the shot off, and it looks like Jonas Harper ran into him as he was going up. We'll see if they call that a shooting foul or just
I believe that's going to be a foul on the floor there. And, that's just a different example of being undisciplined on your closeouts. But more importantly, I'd like to point out on the offensive side, there are a lot of picks being set that aren't being used. And I would hate to be a big man in this Terrier offense where, granted, I don't know that where White set the screen was the best spot there, but he sets the screen to try and let McCoy drive inside. McCoy just kind of doesn't even throw his defender off of it and then goes baseline for the J. You got to start using those screens. Otherwise, there's no reason to set them.
And Nick Fink was called for traveling under the basket. It's Terrier ball. Walter White's got it on the left side. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Kicked out to Petcash. Petcash for three, and it's good. 36 points now for the Terriers. Petcash good from three. They're driving back. Let's see how they respond on their transition defenses. Alex King's got the ball.
It's better
Inside to Nick Finke. Finke at the free throw line, essentially, kicks it back out to Duhart. Duhart driving in, and it's a nice steal by Ethan Britton Watts. Finds McCoy. It's 3-on-1. McCoy goes up for the layup, and he draws the foul. And one opportunity for the Terriers. Javante McCoy goes in for the layup. He's got 12 points today.
I mean, that's a good sequence there from the Terriers. You start off with good ball movement in your offensive zone, and then you come back down. You have a solid defensive possession there where you end up finding a way to steal the ball, and then coming back the other way. McCoy, it worked out. He hit the layup, but he might have been better off passing that. You got a 3-on-1. The defender's directly in front of you. He's lucky he didn't get called for a charge there. Obviously, he gets the blocking foul. That's one of those 50-50 plays where it's just kind of whatever the referee is feeling at that point. If he, thinks that he unnecessarily bowled him over, then that's what he'll call. But from the standpoint of McCoy right there, I feel like he'd be better off passing that one. Worked out in the end, but that's something to look for.
Yeah, a bit of a risky move there, but McCoy driving in with authority. He draws the and one foul. It's now 46-38 Terriers. We're going to have a Javante McCoy free throw attempt on the other end to try to complete that three-point play. We'll be back shortly. About 16 minutes left in the game at this point. We'll be back soon. And we are returning now. Get another look if you're watching the ESPN Plus feed of Javante McCoy's layup. He's going to take the foul shot, try to up his total to 15 points on the day. It's 46-38 in Army's favor. McCoy is going to spot up for the free throw. And he hits it 46-39 in Army's favor. We got about 15 minutes left. Duhart brings the ball down the court. Finds Grayson on the left side. Back to Duhart. Duhart for Peterson inside. Or that's Nick Finke, excuse me. Nick Finke draws in. Kicks back out to Duhart up front. Lonnie Grayson on McCoy. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Duhart drives in. Kicks back out to Blackwell, who hits another three-pointer. He's 4 for 4 on the day from three. That's 12 points for Tucker Blackwell. He's just shooting the lights out there for Army as Ethan Britton Watts brings the ball down. It's a 10-point game again. Walter White up top. Fumbles the dribble a little bit, and he ultimately loses it to, that is Jared Cross in the game now for Army. Aaron Duhart bring the ball up. Finds Blackwell again. Will he hit it? Oh, and that's his first three-point miss, and Walter White's able to get the rebound. McCoy is bringing it up.
Exquisite guard play right now from Army between Duhart and Tucker. Just, I mean, what are you supposed to do with the two of them?
Yeah, I was lucky to get their first miss. If you're the Terriers, still down 10. Petcash kicks it to Hemphill. Hemphill finds Britton Watts right underneath, and looks like he got. I
think he's getting called for something. He's getting called. He's complaining.
Yeah, Joe Jones was living on the bench. We've got the feed muted here, so we can bring our own things. We can't hear every single foul that's called as it happens, but yeah, not really sure what went on there. It seems like maybe called for traveling or something like that, but. Army was able to get Britton Watts, and he continues to struggle beneath the basket despite everything he's doing. Nick Finke underneath on Hemphill.
Rucker back in the game now. I mean, what are you supposed to do at this point, right? It's either you got to deal with Rucker or you got to deal with Duhart. They take one of them out, and the other one goes back in there as Grayson hits the strong left-hand layup.
Grayson really strong. Just that's his MO when it comes to scoring on this defense. He really likes to drive in and get those shots. Javonte McCoy drives in and he is called. He went on Grayson. Grayson went down, and it seems like the ball's staying on this side. That's a foul on Grayson, and it's BU ball again as Jared Cross exits the game for Army. He's only got a few minutes in this entire game. He didn't see too much playing time, but getting some solid minutes off the bench here as BU inbounds it in. Javonte McCoy's got it on the right side. Over to Pasco on the left. Pasco drives in, tries to find an open guy. Suk Matone by the elbow. Pasco's on the left corner. Gets past his man, drives in. He's in the paint, finds Matone. Matone is getting back down by about 2 defenders right now. Puts it up, and he gets it in. And it's back to a 10-point deficit for the Terriers, 51-41 in Army's favor. Jalen Ruckers bringing the ball down, settling at the logo.
And Matone there looks almost as BU goes into a zone and gets beat. That's okay. So first off, let's start with the offensive end. So Matone manages to hit that layup, right? He looked skittish at best while he was in there. He's lucky he didn't get called for a travel because both of his feet were kind of jumping around a little bit there. Then you come back on the other end, and all of a sudden they've decided to go into a zone. There are two things now with that zone because of the way they set it up. I didn't get the best chance to look at it. It was tough to tell if they were in a 2-3 or if they were in a 3-2. Or actually, they could have been in a 2-1-2 as well. It was tough to tell just on that quick look as they missed the free throw, but they just left themselves wide open to a back cut there, essentially.
Yeah, that was Lonnie Grayson with the 3-point opportunity, misses the free throw. Javonte McCoy kicks it out to Pasco, who puts it into Matone. Matone out to a wide open Petcash. That's good for 3, swishes it, and it cuts the lead down to 9 as Jalen Ruckers bring the ball back up for the Black Knights.
So they're running. It's almost like they're running a hybrid defense right now because Matone's just sitting in the paint with his hands up, which is textbook. You're in a zone, but everyone else is playing high. It's almost like it's a 4-1. But basically what happens there is if you don't communicate, you're not supposed to leave your zone, right? So let's assume for a second that they're in a 2-3 zone. That's 2 guards up high, and then your 2 forwards are set up around the corners, and then your center is standing in the paint. If someone back cuts from the corner, the forward can only come with them for so long before exposing his zone. So he has to communicate to the center. And what happened on that last play was they didn't communicate to Matone. So he had no idea that the guy was coming so that he could step down and try and stop the shot. And then all of a sudden you get a foul called. I question switching to from man to zone here, just because of how well the guards have been playing. I don't know that you can test shots as well, just the way they've been setting it up right now.
Yeah, and Army is maintaining their lead. The Terriers have allowed 4 points since switching to this new defensive formation. On that last possession there, Pasco was short on the 3-point attempt, but Army hit it out of bounds, so they have the ball again. Javonte McCoy driving inside. A nifty jump shot, turnaround fade by Javonte McCoy. Cuts the lead back down to 9.
This man is dirty. And it looks like they've switched back to the man-to-man, which I think is a good call.
And Caldwell's driving in on McCoy, gets not a bad look, and Javonte McCoy with a good stop. Army's calling for a foul, but they won't get it. Javonte McCoy has the ball again, up to Pasco, fakes the 3, drives in bit, kicks out to Petcash on the right corner. Petcash tries to find McCoy on the other end, and he does. McCoy pull-up jumper, and it's just off the rim. Alex King with the rebound. Army's coming back up the floor.
Oh, man. Oh.
Alex King goes in uncontested and misses the layup. Supatone with the rebound. Alex King had all the room in the world to get that shot off. Isn't able to do so. Matone up top. Javonte McCoy.
I mean, he made Walter White look silly on that last play. Just fell over. I can't. Oh, man. I mean, you heard the reaction I had to that. He just blows right by him, breaks his ankles, and then he shorts the finger roll layup. That's so disappointing to watch as a basketball fan. My goodness.
And Petcash misses the 3 on the other end. It's 55-46 with 11:16 to go in the game. We're heading to another short break. Not much time left for the Terriers to get back into this one, but certainly not out of hand just yet. We'll be back to you shortly after the break. We are back with BU basketball on WTBU Sports. This is Joe Poverillis with Seth Hellman. If you're just tuning in, Army leads 55-46 with 11 minutes to go in the game, just over. They're showing the leading scorers for Army side, Lonnie Grayson with 15 points, Tucker Blackwell with 12 points on 4 threes, and Josh Caldwell with 11. For the Terriers, Javante McCoy has really been taking over, one of the better shooters on the Terrier offense with 17 points as they inbound the ball here. Pasco's got it on the left corner, and he puts it into Matone. Matone working off 3 defenders, kicks it out to Pasco on the outside. Pasco at the point. 8 seconds, 7-6 on the shot clock. Finds Matone inside with a nice lefty layup there from Matone. It's 55-48.
Couple of missed opportunities there from the Terriers. They're lucky that they found Matone wide open. There were a couple of back cuts there that were absolutely wide open for Pet Cash.
And they're able to find him at the very last second, almost at risk of turning the ball over on a expired shot clock. Alex King's got the ball on the left side, drives into Walter White, who goes sliding into the baseline, and Alex King is called for the foul there. Walter White did his best acting job since his TV show went off the air. I guess we are throwing in some more Breaking Bad jokes.
Yeah, come on. You can't make fun of me for making the joke. You're going to make the joke. No, I mean, I'm watching that play, right? And King very clearly has a push off. I just enjoy the flop there. I mean, you don't go from just inside the corner of the 3-point line to sliding all the way back to the wall without flopping. Like, that was a little bit excessive there.
Yeah, he put a little extra sauce on that as Pasco is bringing it down the court. He's met very closely. Matone's now at the top of the key. Kicks it to Petcash in the left corner. He finds Walter White inside. Walter White driving on the defender, goes up for the hook shot, and he gets it right under the basket. Just a 5-point game, 10 minutes to go, as Army's quick to get back on the turnaround. Nick Fink's up top and swings it over to Tucker Blackwell. He's lethal on the 3-point shot. He kicks it out to Lonnie Grayson. Lonnie Grayson with a few nifty crossovers on Petcash, and he gets right to the hoop, and it goes in. Nice move by Lonnie Grayson. It's 57-50 Army, 10 minutes left. As the ball goes out of bounds, it looks like
there's a foul there
on the play,
Army.
yeah.
They just weren't able to. They tried to block the pass, and they ended up taking Brewster down.
Yeah,
but
Miles Brewster's in the game now for the Terriers. But go ahead, Seth.
I was just thinking to myself, the post and paint play was looking a lot better for the Terriers, and then all of a sudden they give up that easy layup. But offensively, the play has been much better. It looks like they called either an intentional or a flagrant here because he's shooting free throws.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're in the bonus just yet. But
I'm not sure what the call was there.
Maybe they are. It's there was only one and done.
In the bonus. It wasn't they just flicked it up.
Yeah. So that was their BU is in the bonus with 9 minutes to go. As Army finds Fink inside, who kicks it out to Aaron Duhart on the left corner, but he just misses from 3. Walter White with the rebound, bringing it down. Kicks it out to Pasco, who drives in, but Army arm tipped it, and they get the ball back. Pasco with the turnover. Aaron Duhart's driving in on the transition defense. Unable to find, nearly turns it over, but he's able to get Grayson on the right side. Grayson over to Duhart at point. Point down to Nick Fink on the left side. He hands it off to Tucker Blackwell. Blackwell's trying to find a shot. 11 seconds. Yeah, Duhart's wide open at the top of the key, but he bricks it rather off the point, and Fink gets the rebound, but they're calling a foul on Suk Matone.
Yeah,
and Army will maintain possession.
Matone's where the defense is falling apart right now. He's getting too aggressive, stepping up out of the paint, and what's happening is, so especially on that last possession, Matone steps up, and then White crashes in to try and help, but there's no communication between the help defenders, so White just leaves his man wide open at the top of the 3-point line, and that ends up with an open 3. They're lucky they didn't get beat there. I think what's happening right now with the defensive setup is they're going man-to-man normally, but in transition, I think they come back in a zone. But it looks like, they're in the zone right now, so I don't know what they're doing right now defensively, but whatever it is, they got to figure it out fast because it's not working.
And White got the rebound on that shot, kicks back out to McCoy, who's back in the game. White stumbles a little bit, kicks it out to Brewster. Brewster back to White. White corner 3, and not quite corner 3, but he misses regardless. It's 8.5 minutes to go. Lonnie Grayson with the rebound, taking the ball back up the court. Finds Duhart on the left side. Duhart trickling back into the middle, trying to set up an offensive scheme here for Army. Terriers playing man still. He finds Mark Madden on the outside, and that's shot won't count. Lonnie Grayson, they call a foul first on the Terriers. Or no, that's going that's against Army. That's going the other way. So was that they're not
like
shooting. Maybe it was a turnover, a shot clock violation of some kind. Did not have my eyes on the shot clock there.
It could have been an illegal screen or something. It's tough to tell. I didn't see a signal from the referee.
Yeah, of course, BU is in the bonus, so most fouls will put them at the line at this point. And the Terriers are working the ball. Javante McCoy's on the left side. 8 minutes to go. Javante McCoy kicks it back out to Ethan Britton Watts, who finds Brewster in the corner. Back to Britton Watts, trying to set something up here. Jonas Harper's on the left side, but Britton Watts goes in, finds McCoy, over to Jonas Harper in the end, but McCoy is called for traveling before Harper's able to get the shot up. So that's another turnover from BU, and it's McCoy's second turnover of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they missed the shot anyway, so it didn't matter too much, but there's a lot of stagnant players right now on the Terriers offense. I think they're tired right now, and that's probably why they've decided to go to a zone. There's really only two reasons why you would decide to go to a zone, and that's you don't trust your personnel to guard in man, or you're tired. You don't go to zone if you have full energy right now.
Yeah, it does seem like they're switching back and forth between a bit of a softer man coverage and a few maybe box and one type of zones. But Army calls a timeout. It's 57-50 with just under 8 minutes to go in the game. It's getting close. It seems like with every shot one side makes, the other side responds with a shot of their own. And now it's been a bit quiet. Not too many made shots, but we'll be back shortly with the remainder of this game. So stick around. And we are back now with Patriot League Boston University basketball on WTBU Sports. I'm Joe Parillos with Seth Hellman. There's just under 8 minutes left. Army leads 57-50. And Seth, what do you want to see in these last 8 minutes for the Terriers to try to get this lead back?
Improved scoring from the rest of the lineup. Javante McCoy's done what he can right now, 17 points in the game, but fellow starting guard Jonas Harper hasn't put the ball in the bucket once. So that's really something that you got to look for. I think if you can get Matone to score more in the post, that'll help as well. But it looks like the Terriers are getting aggressive. They're full court pressing now on the inbounds, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to need defensive stops. They're going to have to not turn the ball over, but most importantly, look, the game's about a bucket. And if you can't get a bucket, you can't win. So that's what they're going to have to do here.
Yeah, they're, as you just mentioned, starting with full court press, but Army maintains the ball. Only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Alex King's down low on McCoy, but he gets stripped by Brewster, but they call that's traveling on Army. Seemed like BU was pleading to the ref on that one. They thought it was on them, but it's going the other way now. Good defensive play by Brewster and Javante McCoy on Alex King as Ethan Britton Watts brings the ball down over to McCoy. Javante McCoy brings it over. He's at point now, looking for options. He finds Jonas Harper on the right. Harper swings back into the middle, finds McCoy again on the left. He finds Britton Watts in the corner. He makes a man stumble, kicks it back out to Jonas Harper for three, and it bounces right off that was a great look for BU, but they were unable to convert. Aaron Duhart drives in, kicks it back out to Alex King for three, wide open, and that rims out as well. But Army's able to get the rebound. Lonnie Grayson picks it up. Duhart at the top of the point now into Nick Finke by the elbow. Finds
Good spacing.
Caldwell. Fink inside. And he's called for traveling now. So both sides just shooting themselves in the foot with either, missing open shots or turning the ball over in needless situations. It looked like Fink had the upper hand there under the basket, would have been able to get 2 points, but can't convert there.
Good spacing on offense right now from the Terriers. And I mean, you saw it on that possession. It looks like they're forcing the Black Knights into situations in which they're not fully comfortable, getting a lot of traveling calls right now. If I am the Golden Knights, I'd do exactly what they just did, and they put Rucker in the game. It seems like he's been the only guy who's been able to consistently get his shot as he fouls Britton Watts there, who almost put down a really tough layup, but he will shoot free throws with 6:33 remaining. Army's gotta, if they want to maintain the lead, they've got to score a few more points. I think if they hit that 70 mark before the Terriers do, I think they'll end up winning this game fairly handily. It's important for Britton Watts to hit these 2 free throws right now.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first points of the game. That was his 5th shot, I believe, but he was fouled, and he rims out that first free throw attempt, hits the back of the rim and bounces out. So it's still 57-50, and he goes in for the second shot. And that one goes in. It's 57-51 Terriers, 6.5 to go. Terriers calling off the press. Seems like Britton Watts was the only one back there.
Well, I think they just didn't think it was necessary to guard the inbounder. They just wanted to make it tough for them to pass the ball in, which is fine at this point. You just want to make them a little bit uncomfortable, pick them up full court, back off a little bit, just make them know that you're there.
Yeah, and Rutgers got the ball now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. He drives in, nice layup, but they are calling another foul, but this one looks like it's on the Terriers. Couldn't quite see what happened there, but it's on Javante. Is it on Javante McCoy?
It's tough to tell. The camera zoomed in on Britton Watts right there, so I'm not 1,000% sure. Looks like we're getting another. It looks like McCoy just got called for a foul there, though.
See, I'm looking at the live stats here, and our feed is obviously delayed a little bit, so it seems like Britton Watts was called for that foul first, and Javante McCoy fouls Tucker Blackwell on the inbound pass, and believe Army is in the bonus right now. We'll see as they head to the line. Coach Jones talking with McCoy on the sideline, and yes, that is Blackwell on the free throw line. Army now in the bonus with just over 6 minutes to go. Unable to convert the free throw, and Brewster grabs the rebound, kicks it out to Britton Watts. 6-point deficit here for the Terriers. Javante McCoy now with the ball. He's at the logo, finds Walter White on the left side. Walter White into Hemphill at the top. Terriers continue to circle the perimeter, trying to find an open lane as Walter White drives in, kicks it out to Javante McCoy in the right corner. But McCoy is fouled, it looks like, by Josh Caldwell, so he will be heading to the line again. And
he'll shoot 2 here now that the Terriers are in the double bonus.
Yes, they're in the double bonus. He's definitely one of their better shooters just in general, so this is some good news from the Terriers. Or maybe I'll pull another, who was it? Al Michaels announcer jinx for Justin Tucker last night in the Ravens game.
The 2 doinks in a row. That was that was a tough one. If you're a Ravens fan and you're watching, I mean, honestly, we have a little bit of a break here to discuss football. I mean, I love football, but I think if the Titans play in that game, they win. Bills were not all that impressive.
Well, we know your Bills bias as a Patriots fan, but we can address that later. Javante McCoy nails both free throws, so avoids the jinx, but Jalen Rucker comes back in and hits the inside shot. It's 59-53 with 5.5 to go as Britton Watts is carrying the ball back up. He finds Walter White. Walter White back to Britton Watts. Miles Brewster is on the right wing, finds Hemphill towards the corner, and it's back to Britton Watts. He's getting swarmed. Hemphill's underneath. 14 seconds left. He's trying to find a look. He pivots around, but can't get quite enough juice on it. It comes up just short off the rim as Josh Caldwell brings it down back to Jalen Rucker in the right corner.
It's not a good take for him. He hasn't been hitting his shots all day. He has teammates he can pass it to, and there's time left on the shot clock. There's no reason to take that shot in that situation.
And Jalen Rucker's 14 seconds left in the shot clock. Lonnie Grayson now on the left side, back to Rucker, who pulls up from deep with the three, but it rims. It hits the back of the rim and comes back out. Javonte McCoy at the rebound. Finds Walter White, back to McCoy.
Walter White
open
has
from
missed
three.
every single 3-point shot short today. It's unreal, but he does
gets his own
follow it.
rebound. He got his own rebound and puts a layup back in with just over 4.5 to go. It's a 4-point game now, about the tightest this game's been since early in the first half. And BU slowly chipping away at this lead as Jalen Rucker finds Fink rolling into the inside. He goes up for the layup, and that was a nice touch by Nick Finke as Army is first to break 60.
Nice little finger roll there.
And McCoy's bringing the ball
Air
up.
Ball, yikes.
And that's Hemphill, who grazes the net, but not the way you want to in basketball. He falls short of the rim.
Raises the net, he says.
Yeah, rolls.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
No, the net moved. It moved. He didn't make the basket, but
no, it's the nice way of saying he missed literally everything.
That except for the net. And when I play basketball, those are the best nothing but nets that'll come from my hands. So Army is bringing back the ball now. It's 4 minutes left in the game. 61-55 is the score. And that's another deep three from Rucker, and that bounces out as well. But Alex King with the rebound out to Lonnie Grayson. They're slowing it down now. Grayson gives it back up to Rucker, who's taken 2 deep threes in a row and has missed both of them. Harper tips it back into the backcourt, but they're still Army possession. 8 seconds left, 7 left. Rucker driving in, great pass, kicks out to Caldwell, who nails the corner three. Oof, that was a nice possession there by Army. 3.5 minutes left. They stretch the lead back to 9, and that one hurts if you're BU. They're calling a timeout right now.
Forget nice possession by Army. That's just a nice possession by Rucker. I mean, he misses the 3-point shot a couple of times, coming down, but he stays aggressive, decides that it's time for him to drive and kick, and then he finds a wide open teammate down low. But because he's been so aggressive all game long, he's drawing multiple defenders. So now that he's already drawing defenders. He's found a teammate down low who was open. So that draws multiple defenders. So now you have 2 guys wide open, and then you have that one now you have the Terrier defender stuck in no man's land, right? He's got to decide, all right, am I going for the guy in the corner? Or am I going for the guy on the left? Catch-22 situation there. He does his best to contest the shot. They knock it down. Now you're down by 9.
Yeah, and Caldwell, it seems like both sides have been struggling from corner threes today, even though they've both been shooting better compared to yesterday. But that was one tough blow to the Terriers. There's 9-point deficit, 3.5 minutes left. They just called a timeout, so we're in a commercial break, but we'll be back shortly. Make sure to tune in for the end of this game. And we're back again. 3.5 minutes to go. Terrier basketball on WTBU Sports Radio. Joe Poarillas with Seth Hellman calling this game. Going to the conclusion. Army is coming off a nice corner three from Josh Caldwell, who's just been terrorizing the Terriers on both ends of the court today. And it's going to be Terrier ball out of this, and they're going to try to cut into this lead and try to take the game, but it's getting down to do it or lose it time, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, Terrier field goal percentage has dropped down to 41% during this half, 44% for the entire game. If you can't hit shots, you're not going to you're not going to win this game. As Matone hits the layup, he's perfect from the floor right now. Quiet 5 for 5 from him. But they got to hit more shots. They're down to 20% from 3-point range right now. It looks like in this second half, after, they've taken 10 total. So,
and that's
something that's got to improve.
Yeah, and Caldwell is found right under the basket again in response. He hits the layup there as Matone's back in the game, as you just mentioned. They like to find him under the basket. He's been pretty good at getting those shots and so far. Javonte McCoy with some nifty moves hits the jumper from the left elbow. He's up to over 20 points he's got 21 right now.
I
And
tell you,
Jalen Rucker's bringing the ball up.
I'd pay good money to watch Rucker and McCoy play one-on-one with each other. Both of these guys can get their own shot. And oh man, is this fun to watch. As I'm talking about it, Rucker with the crossover breaks his defender's ankles and hit the long two. Man, these guys going back and forth. It's quite the battle to watch.
They are really going for it right now. That was a great move by Caldwell. McCoy's got the ball again. It's like they're going back and forth with each other. Walter White's on the left corner trying to get back King, who's a little bit taller than him, but White fumbles the ball out. Harper able to pick it up on the ground, kicks it out to McCoy. It's down to even Britton White. He swishes the shot, but the play was called dead before he was pulling it off. And
foul
looks like
on the floor.
Terriers looks like we'll be heading to the foul line here and have a chance for cut it down to or get 2 shots and cut the lead down to 7.
Yeah, foul on the floor from Rucker there to put him on the line. I mean, if you're the Terriers, you'd almost rather that foul doesn't get called. I mean, Britton Watts hasn't hit a single field goal all game. His points have come from free throws. So, for him, it's still a confidence booster, right? You take that shot, you see it go through the net. All right, now I've seen it go through the net. Now I know I can hit my shots. Let's try and do this for the remainder of the game. I think Tate has actually sat for this entire second half. They have not had, there's been a 10-man rotation pretty much for the Terriers this game, but now that we're in the second half, I don't know that they've really switched anyone other than putting in Pasco for Britton Watts right now.
Yeah, and it's there's Britton Watts hit both free throws, so it's 68-61. They went back to the full court press. We're under 2 minutes to go. And it's down to 17 on the shot clock. Rucker is being harassed by Pasco up by the front, but Rucker drives in, looks out to Nick Finke outside on the 3-point line, goes back to Rucker, who finds Alex King, who drives in, gets past White, goes up for the layup, can't go in, but the putback by Nick Finke is good, and he's fouled on the play. Great offensive board, great putback. Army is up to 70, Seth. You said if they were able to get to 71st, might be good for them, and that might signal the win. And at this point, 9-point lead, 3-point play, chance to go up 10. It's looking like it may not be Terriers' day to get back into this one.
No, I mean, you're down 9 with a minute 32 left. You've only hit 2 3-pointers in the entire second half on 10 takes. You can't get anything going in the post defensively. I don't see it right now. I mean, obviously anything can happen here as he misses the free throw, so it stays a 9-point deficit, but they're going to have to start making 3-pointers and getting stops.
And Matone is got a great defense by Finke. Again, he was right in Matone's face. Matone misses the layup underneath. 9-point game, just over a minute left. Rucker has the ball at the logo. He's trying to drain some clock right now. Jonas Harper's playing some pretty aggressive defense, but Rucker is able to move around. Rucker able to swing it into Caldwell. And Caldwell gets fouled. It seems like the Terriers are trying to resort to stopping the clock, try to get some rebounds, hoping for some misses here. And this end of the game could draw out a little bit long if they're able to cut it closer. But
yeah, and I mean, you go back to that last possession there for the Terriers on the missed shot by Matone, and he's got the double team, right? He's got to understand, look, Matone's a senior. And if he didn't understand it by now, I don't know that he's ever going to understand it. You have to identify the double team in the post. Yeah, you haven't missed a shot from the floor before that shot, but you have to, that someone's open. If you're doubled, someone else is open. You have to find the open man and get it out. You need a 3. 2s aren't going to help you right now with a minute left in the game.
And in that last sequence there, Caldwell makes one, misses the other. Terriers get it back again. Matone heavily guarded on that last layup attempt, and he misses as well. Finke gets the rebound, and the Terriers are forced to foul. It's 71-61 in Army's favor. There's 49.8 seconds left in the game, and the Army's going down to the line. They'll be shooting at least one, and Finke misses that one. Their Army's in the double bonus right now, so he'll get that second shot, even though he missed the first one. Still 71-61. Finke at the line. And he sinks that one, 72-61, into McCoy. They're going to need to act quick and try to get some good shots up. But McCoy from the logo pretty much, and that banks bricks right out. And Army's able to get the rebound. Grayson really taking his time. It took a few seconds for White to foul him. And Lonnie Grayson will be heading to the line now with 37.8 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, the Terriers are going to be lucky to even get to 70. Forget getting to 70 first at this point. I mean, look, you gotta, if you're the Terriers, you're happy with how you played in that first half. You're not happy with how you ended the first half, but you're happy with how you played overall in that first half. And I mean, you have to play a complete game, right? I mean, you're winning for the vast majority of the first half after having only led by 20 or for 22 minutes, I think, for the entire season, right? So the Terriers have to figure out how to play a complete game right now. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think a lot of it starts with depth scoring. McCoy cannot be the only guy who scores. White can't be the only other guy who takes more than 10 shots.
Yeah, Grayson hits both free throws as White is able to drive right down and get the dunk. There's 31.4 seconds left, 74-63. Grayson is fouled near the baseline. Javante McCoy has exited the game. It seems like this one's going to trickle down. We'll see how soon they stop fouling, because 11-point game, there's a chance, but I think after this one, it's going to be, they're just going to let the clock run out, maybe try to get another shot up. But 30 seconds left. Grayson at the line. Hits the first free throw, 75-63 in Army's favor. And Grayson hits the second one. So it's 76-63, 30 seconds left. Pasco's got the inbound. He's driving into the lane, and Army's going to be careful not to foul. Matone gets the offensive board and puts the layup back up. It's 76-63, 24 seconds left. Jalen Rucker is trying to outrun the Terrier defense, and it looks like they're just going to let him bleed the clock out now. 76-65, just over 10 seconds left. All the players standing on the court. That'll be it for this one. Not quite as bad as the 20-point loss yesterday, but BU unable to come away with the win, losing by 11, 76-65. Seth, what are your final thoughts on this game?
I mean, if anything, this loss is a little bit more gut-wrenching. You had up to, I think, a 9-point lead might have been the biggest, 7-point lead, something like that. And, you let them get a couple of threes, and then all of a sudden it becomes a 1-point game. And then you expand your lead again, and then you give up a bunch of buckets. You turn the ball over a bunch of times. And all of a sudden it's back to a 1-point game. And then all of a sudden you're losing again, right? So it's, the Terriers need to figure out a way to have more consistent scoring just across the board. You're not going to win the game if McCoy has to be the number one guy all the time. And look, the guy's a hooper. He can play really, really well, but he can't be the guy all the time for the full 40 minutes of the game. Now, I mean, I think the Terriers, from a shooting standpoint, played a lot worse in the second half, but you look at the turnover margin and they only lose a turnover margin by 3. They only had 6 turnovers in the second half. That's something to build on. If you can go through the rest of your season, and try and only have 6 turnovers per half, that's a whole, that turns it into 12 turnovers instead of 17 like they had in this game, right? So that's an extra 6 possessions that you have. That can be, the way they're shooting, that might be an extra, 8 points, right? Say you hit 2 threes and a 2, maybe you hit 2 twos and a 3, and that's 7 points, but still at that point, 7 points in a game like this, you only lose by 4, and you're not fouling, I think, as much, and you're a lot more in the game than you were. So turnovers are the big thing here. Shooting's another, and depth scoring overall. I think the Terriers have the ability to win games. We saw it last year. This roster is not much different in construction from last year, which is a team that earned a berth into the March Madness tournament after winning the Patriot League tournament. So that's something they can probably do again, just based on being able to have done it last year. But, you watch these first 6 games for the Terriers falling to 1-5, and you question whether or not they have that magic left in them.
Yeah, Max Mahoney, the only real a big part of the team, but the only really significant, I guess, departure from last season. And look, ending this game, Terriers fall to 1-5, Army up to 8-3, I believe, 7-3,
I
something.
I,
Yeah,
I think they have 8 wins
eight.
now.
Yeah, so
Army.
they're 8-3 now. Javante McCoy finishes with 21 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Walter White with a double double, 13 points, 10 rebounds. On Army side, Jalen Rucker with 17 points, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. Lonnie Grayson 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 11 points or 21 points rather, and just a great all around game. Alex King, he had a pretty good game yesterday, but he was stifled a little bit. But it seemed the other Black Knights were able to pick it up and contribute to this win. Both teams shooting better than they did yesterday, but still a lot of work for BU to do if they want to climb back up in these Patriot League rankings. With WTBU Sports, I'm Joe Pohorillas. This is Seth Hellman. Patriot League basketball, Boston University. Final score 76, Army 65 BU. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to check out BU hockey playing very shortly here.